Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be trying to degraft this moon cactus. The cactus on top feeds off of the one below. Usually the Gymnocalycium mihanovichii, which is the purple part of the plant, usually cannot support itself on its own because they don't contain enough chlorophyll, which is the green part of the plant. The chlorophyll is necessary for the plant to photosynthesize and produce sugars for it to sustain itself long term. So this is why they grafted onto a stronger rootstock. I'm not normally a fan of grafted cactus, but I bought it because of this part of the plant mainly, and because of this one, because it's purple, and you don't normally see a lot of the purple ones in the shops. It's usually the pinks and the yellows. So I believe that the purple cactus can live independently on its own with its own root system, because it does contain some chlorophyll. In this case, as you can see here, I've got a new stem growing from the rootstock. You can see here the new stem growing out of an areole. Those little white bumps are the areoles, which is where stems and then the flowers would come from. And you can see this one has lots of its own little areoles. At first, when this started growing, I wasn't sure what was happening. Maybe it's growing a flower. So I'm not sure why the rootstock is deciding to grow. I want to essentially degraft, slice off this plant away from this plant, and then treat this as a cutting, allowing it to callus over, and then put it into a pot with some gravel and let it try and develop its own roots. I think the added bonus with this is I'm going to try and help save this part of the plant as well, because it's obviously wanting to grow. So I think this is a hylocereus undatus, which is quite a common one for using for grafting for the moon cactus. So basically this is like the dragon fruit plant, commonly known as. I recently repotted this the other day, so I had a chance to look at the roots, and that's fine. But you can see where it meets the Gymnocalycium. You can see that this Gymnocalycium's got some patches on it. Not sure what's going on there. Perhaps it's had spider mite at some point. But you can see all those little offsets there. They could potentially develop their own roots. Some of them are smaller than others. In general, Gymnocalycium are quite easy to develop roots from cuttings. They're quite fast. My intention when I originally bought it was to degraft it, but I kept it for a little while just to see what it would do. But I think in order to get the top to flower, it would do better on its own. Okay, so let's get on with trying to degraft this. Right, so I've just had another look And you can see here, this pup is hanging down, and this one on the other side as well, but there is a slight gap just underneath that you can see through. If I shine that blade, you can see there's a little hole there, and I don't want to hurt the little offsets. There's another little gap just underneath there where you can see the calloused skin, just slightly a gap. So I'm going to try and get as close to the base of that cactus as I can. I might have to slice a part of the green bit off and then work on the rest of it afterwards, because I don't want any of this remaining green plant attached to it. And I might have to remove some offsets as well, but I'll see how I go. I think I'm going to have to take off a chunk of the green part because it's very difficult to do this with this in the way. I'm trying to do this with the camera right in front of me. I'm halfway through the middle now. This little baby here. So I've just turned it around now. And you can see I'm getting quite close here, so I might need to pull this one off. I'm going to try and get as much of that green part off as I can. Cut around this and then make sure all of that is off, because we need roots to develop from this plant, not this one here. There's the top of the plant. There's that little split here. See, it's oozing a little bit. Still got the spine attached. Okay, so here it is now on its own, and hopefully it might encourage it to start budding up some new stems from the existing areoles here. I've got some gloves on now. Probably should have done that to begin with, but sometimes they just get in the way. You can see now it's already got like a little groove going in. I think that's going to be sufficient now. So there's not really much there to dry out. It'll probably only take about a day or two, if that. And then I'll put it on top of some gravel, damp gravel, for it to then send out some roots. The roots will start shooting out from the edges, like it did before in my previous cutting I did a video on, and you will get some that come from the centre as well, which is the meristem part. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful, and should you need to degraft a moon cactus, you can see that I've never done degrafting before and I've managed it okay. Thank you for watching. Bye!